Hello, Steamers fans, and welcome in a bit late here to Lakewood Park. The Steamers are threatening in the top half of the first inning. Chase Bruno led things off with a single. Nate Paulson followed him up with a double. Runners at second and third now. Nobody out for Jackson Hipp coming to the plate for Edenton. Hipp batting third. Bruno led off with a single. Paulson with a double. Here's the pitch to Hipp. It's inside corner for a called strike. 0-1. It's the Steamers' first trip here to Lakewood Park, taking on the Redbirds, the final team in the Premier Collegiate League that they have been yet to play. Hipp offers at that one and swings. It's an 0-2 count. Jackson Hipp went 0 for 4 last night. He walked in his only appearance on base. Devin Hicks on the mound for the Redbirds. This spring at Bryan and Stratton College, his longest outing was 2 1/3 innings in 6 different games he pitched in. So we'll see how long of a leash he gets tonight. Hipp's ready for the 0-2. Here it comes. He'll swing and float that one out towards center field. It's going to be caught on a diving play by Debaucher. Bruno's going to tag, and Bruno's going to score. And for the second straight night, the Steamers have put a run on the board in the first. It's 1-0 Edenton. Paulson forced a hold out there at second. An incredible play out in center by Debaucher. For the first out here in the inning, the Steamers still with a runner in scoring position as Houston Wright comes to the plate. Wright floats that one down the third base line, giving chase. It'll fall out of play as Hughes was in pursuit. Owen won the count to Wright, who went 1 for 5 last night in Wake Forest. Wright had gone 2 straight games without a hit before getting his hit last night, a double that went all the way to the right field fence. It's behind in the count 0-1 with Nate Paulson down at second. The pitch. Wright leaves that one outside, 1-1 the count. Hicks takes a long look in. The 1-1 to Wright. He'll let it outside. It's 2-1 the count to Houston. Devin Hicks only made 2 starts this spring at Bryan and Stratton College. His first start of the season for Norfolk tonight. That one floats in there for a called strike. 2-2 the count to Wright. Steamers only mustered up 3 runs last night in the win over the Fungo after putting up 6 the night before against the Voyagers. Wright leaves that one up high. Count fills up at 3-2. A late start here to the Stream as Chase Bruno led off the game with a single. Nate Paulson followed him up with a double, and Jackson Hipp knocked in Bruno with a sac fly, and the 3-2 pitch is swung on and missed by Wright for out number 2. A big pitch there for Hicks. That'll bring Tanner Thatch up to the plate. Over at first base tonight for Tate Abbott. Abbott missing his first game of the season. Some right knee soreness. He'll get this one off tonight. It's Abbott's first start at first base as he takes that one for a called strike. Abbott started a couple of nights ago out in right field. He missed the game last night in Wake Forest due to high school graduation. Some things a bit more important than collegiate summer baseball. The 0-1 to Thatch. He'll swing and send that one foul on the third base side. Down in the count 0-2. Hicks has done a nice job settling in after allowing back-to-back hits to open up this first inning. Paulson down at second, 2 outs, 0-2 the count to Thatch. Steamers already ahead 1-0. That one's in there for a called strike 3 to wrap up the top of the first. The Steamers do get one on the board. It's 1-0 Edenton. Hello and welcome back to Lakewood Park here for the bottom half of the first inning. The Steamers put one on the board in the top half and have the early 1-0 lead here against the Norfolk Redbirds. Thank you so much for joining me on the Edenton Steamers YouTube channel tonight. Had a bit of a late start. The Steamers bus arriving a bit late, a little more warm-up time, and then some connection issues, but we're underway. And it'll be Nicky Wolking on the mound for the Steamers. It'll be Wolking's second start of the season. Back in his first one against Virginia Beach, he went 5 innings, struck out 10. Wolking now the third pitcher on the Steamers to make his second start of the year. Blake Gibson and Bryce Stevens the other two. Leading off for the Redbirds is Justin Lakos over at shortstop. And he'll be the first batter that Wolking faces tonight. From the windup, his first pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Wolking's ready. The 0-1 pitch. Bit outside, count evens up at 1-1. Lakos went 0 for 3 last night, a pair of strikeouts. 1-1 pitch. Bit outside, 2-1 the count. Lakos going to attend Christopher Newport University next spring. Just 1 hit so far through the first 2 games for Norfolk. Here's the 2-1. Bit outside, 3-1 the count. Wolking stomping at the base of that mound. Trying to clean up his cleats, got a good landing area. He's ready, here comes the 3-1 pitch to Lakos. A called strike as Lakos already took a few steps towards first. A bit of a delayed call, but a strike nonetheless. That fills up the count at 3-2. Lakos, the long bend back. Wolking's ready. Here's the 3-2. Swung on, hit high, out towards left center field. Cole sprinting over. It's going to drop in for a base hit. Cole picks it up with a bare hand to get it in. And it's a leadoff single for the Redbirds. Justin Lakos is aboard. And with Lakos over at first, it'll be Wes Bonney up to the plate. Bonney starting over at second tonight for the Redbirds. Wolking stares in. First pitch from the stretch. Swung on, chopped to third, and it's going to go foul, left of the bag and out of play. Wolking, it's his second start of the season, but he did make a relief appearance a couple of nights ago against the Voyagers, went 1 1/3 innings. Instead of a bullpen session, he would rather face live hitting, so he got that inning against the Voyagers. Here's the 0-1. That one skied first base side. Thatch will give chase towards the fence, and it's going to drop in foul and out of play. 0-2 the count. A long walk around the mound for Wolking. Didn't allow a hit in his inning in the third against the Voyagers. He's been locked in. He'll try and make a pickoff attempt over there at first, but Lakos is back in safely. The Steamers have an unprecedented 3 straight games picking off a runner. You don't see it very often in one game, and they've done it in 3 straight. The 0-2 pitch. That one's poked out towards right field. It's going to get down for a hit. Coming in is Hip. Lakos is heading over to third. Hip's throw comes in, and there's runners on the corners for the Redbirds with nobody out. 2 hits to lead off the first inning for Norfolk, just as the Steamers did in their half. And that'll bring up Jason Bosher, who's out in center field tonight for the Redbirds. A bit of trouble here early for Wolking and the Steamers. In that appearance back against the Voyagers, he was able to work out of a bases-loaded jam, but this one here in the first inning, still nobody out and runners out the corners. It's Lakos over at third, who singled to lead off the inning, and Bonney singled to right to move Lakos to third and take first. First pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. No Steamer starter has allowed more than 2 earned runs in any appearance this season. Wolking in a tough spot here in the bottom half of the first. Here's the Owen Debaucher. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Bosher going to go to Virginia Wesleyan University next year for his freshman season. One of 5 players on this Redbirds team from First Colonial High School. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled straight back and out of play. Count remains 0-2. Bosher went 1 for 2 last night. His one hit was a double. Looking to add another hit tonight. The Redbirds already with 2 in the inning against Wolking. Do the 0-2 again. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. A big strikeout for Wolking for the first out here in the first. Wolking, no stranger to striking guys out, struck out 10 in his last start against Virginia Beach in just 5 innings of work. Drew Proctor up to the plate now, over at first and batting cleanup for the Redbirds tonight. First pitch to Proctor, he'll swing and miss at a ball at his feet. 0-1 the count. Proctor was 0 for 1 last night, struck out in his only at bat. But in the lineup hitting cleanup tonight, and Wolking will step off. Trying to keep an eye on both runners. It's Justin Lakos over at third, singled to lead off the inning. Wes Bonney, who followed him at first, who also singled. The 0-1. Bonnie's off and running, and that one's going to be fouled. First base side and out of play. Bonnie took off, got a pretty good jump over from first. Not sure what the play would have been from Jeremiah Boyd with Justin Lakos down there at third. But for the second straight hitter, Wolking ahead 0-2. Trying to work out of some early trouble here in the first inning with the Steamers ahead 1-0. Wolking steps off, he'll get set again. The 0-2 pitch. Swung and shot first base side, and it's going to drift foul. Steamers have to touch it before it comes back fair. That ball nearly took a turn back into fair territory. Thatch was able to get his glove on it. It almost hit the grass in foul territory and took a twirl back to the left, and Bonnie was off and running again. We'll see what Jeremiah Boyd does. Bonnie takes off again here with the count 0-2 to Drew Proctor. Runners at the corners for the Redbirds. Here in their first meeting of the season with Edenton, the first game for the Steamers here at Lakewood Park. The 0-2 pitch. Bonnie's off again. That one is fouled off again. For the third straight pitch, a foul ball as Bonnie was looking to take second. A long at bat here for Drew Proctor. Down in the count 0-2, but he's really made Wolking work a little bit harder than he wanted to. It'll be the sixth pitch of the at-bat. Proctor will call time. We'll see if Bonnie takes off again from first. He's ran the last 3 pitches. The 0-2 from Wolking. Bonnie's off again. That one's fouled off again. 4 straight pitches that have been fouled off to the right side by Proctor. Bonnie's taken off on all 4. Runners at the corners. The Redbirds led off the first inning with a pair of hits. Trying to take advantage against Nicky Wolking in his second start of the year. The 0-2. Outside, Boyd throws to first. Bonnie gets caught in between first and second. They're going to bring a runner home. Here's Stevens throw to the plate, and it's dropped by Boyd at home. Lakos is in. And the game is all tied. Wes Bonney got into a rundown between first and second. He ends up at second. The Steamers get no outs on the play. And the game is all tied up. A rundown between first and second between Bonney. Bryce Stevens had the mindset to throw home, seeing Lakos taking off from third, and the throw was in there in time. Might not have been up high enough. Boyd unable to make the grab and apply the tag. Lakos slides in, and we're all tied at 1. The at-bat with Drew Proctor still going. Pitch number 8 about to come in. As Wes Bonney's now out at second as that one's outside. Back-to-back balls. Count moves to 2-2. After the first 2 Redbirds reached with a hit, Wolking struck out the third hitter, Jason Bosher. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. It's in the dirt. Boyd has it. He'll take his time, throw to first in time to complete the strikeout, the second of the night for Wolking. Back-to-back strikeouts for Wolking, and there's 2 outs here in the first. That'll bring the catcher Aiden Feather up to the plate. Still a runner down at second in scoring position for the Redbirds. First pitch is outside, 1-0 the count.
Wolking still doesn't seem to love his landing area there at the base of the mound. We've seen him playing with the bottom of it on every couple of pitches. He kind of slipped off the mound on that one. Here's the 1-0. Good outside, 2-0 the count. Not a feather. Feather went 2 for 3 last night with a double. And the Redbirds lost to Greenbrier. (2-0) and Wolking will spin back and take a look at second. Trying to keep Bonnie close as it's Bryce Stevens over there hanging out behind second base. Feather's ready. Here's the pitch from Wolking. That one's in the dirt. It gets between the legs of Boyd. Runner's taken off for third, and he'll be in there safely. So Wes Bonnie moves over to third. The ball that got through Boyd. The count's now 3-0. 2 outs here in the first. It's been the Redbirds base running that's got them on the board here early. A rundown over between first and second with runners on the corners allowed Justin Lakos to come home and tie the game. 3-0, he swings and fouls it back. 3-1 the count. Feather with the green light on that one, fouls it away. Wolking trying to work back in the count. Feather, as mentioned, a pair of hits last night. 3 hits so far through the first 2 games for Norfolk. Here comes the 3-1 from Wolking. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Count fills up. Mickey Wolking trying to get out of this first inning, allowing just 1 run after the first 2 hitters were aboard for the Redbirds. It's Aiden Feather, the 5th hitter in this lineup, with a runner over at third and 2 outs. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Swung on, popped up, shallow right center field. Stevens moves back. Hip will walk in, and Hip's under it to make the catch. The Redbirds get one back in their half of the first. We'll head to the second, all tied up at 1. Steamers fans, the new 2022 Edenton Steamers merchandise has arrived. There are plenty of ways for you to pick up your new Steamers gear. You can head to EdentonSteamers.com and place an order, stop by Sound Feet Shoes of Edenton, or head to the merchandise trailer located behind the first base dugout at historic Hicks Field. You can also pick up some of the brand new Show on County Cantaloupes gear, but only at historic Hicks Field. Thank you for your support and repping your Steamers gear. Hello and welcome back here to Lakewood Park for the top half of the second inning. The Steamers scored on a sac fly from Jackson Hip in their half, and it was the Redbirds responding as Justin Lakos was able to steal home on a bit of a play where there was a rundown between first and second with Wes Bonnie. Jeremiah Boyd sets a lead off here in the second for the Steamers. After getting the day off last night, Boyd back behind the plate. Him and Case Kermode have been swapping every other day amidst the Steamers' 5-game and 5-day stretch. Boyd will step up to the plate to lead things off here in the second. Boyd, when he last played 2 nights ago against the Voyagers, his only hit was a 2-run home run, the 3rd homer of the season for Edenton. Boyd watches that one come high and in for a ball. 1-0 the count. Boyd hitting .308 in the 5 games he's played this season, 4 hits. The 1-0 up high, 2-0 the count to Boyd. Steamers had the first 2 runners aboard in the first. Chase Bruno led off with a single and Nate Paulson followed him with a double. Boyd trying to continue that trend. He'll swing at the 2-0, chop it over to short. Moving in is Lakos. He'll throw on the run in time for the first out. One down here in the second. That'll bring Alden Cottle up to the plate. Cottle back at third after a couple of nights off where Bryce Stevens was at second. We saw Jared Beebe and Chris Morris take some time over at third for the Clams. Cottle back in the lineup. First pitch from Hicks floats in there a bit high, 1-0 the count. Cottle hitting .222 through the first 5 games he's played as that one's inside. Back-to-back 2-0 counts. Cottle trying to take advantage against Devin Hicks, who a lot of pair hits in that first inning. That one right at the knees at Cottle. Count moves to 2-1. Steamers dugout not in love with that call. Cottle's ready. Here comes the 2-1. Right at the knees again. Same spot. Another called strike. Count evens up at 2-2. Hicks quickly back in the windup. The 2-2 pitch is swung on and fouled on the first base side. And we'll do it again at 2-2. Two-two pitch. Cottle sends that one on a couple of chops over to third, and it goes right through Hughes. Took a couple of wacky bounces over to Hughes. It got through him, and Alden Cottle's aboard with 1 down here in the second. The first error of the night for the Redbirds, and that'll bring Hunter Cole up to the plate. As Hicks will go from the stretch. Cottle over at first. Here's the first pitch to Cole. That one's in the dirt. It gets away. Cottle takes off for second. No throw down from Feather. And Alden Cottle moves from first to second with 1 out. A big opportunity here for Hunter Cole ahead in the count 1-0. Cole's hit some balls hard as of late, still looking for hit number 1 here in the summer. And a big chance here for Cole. The man down at second. And Hicks will step off. Him and Feather try and figure out their communication. Here comes the 1-0. Cole smokes it. First base side. It'll go down the line for a base hit. Cole's rounding first, heading for second. It'll go towards the corner. Cottle's coming in to score. It's the first hit of the season for Hunter Cole, and it's an RBI double. A big hit for Hunter Cole, last season's team MVP. Had started the year 0 for 13, a big hit and a big weight off of his back as he puts the Steamers back ahead 2-1, and now he's at second base with just 1 out for Bryce Stevens. That one's in there for a called strike. 0-1 the count to Stevens.
Stevens takes that one in the dirt, 1-1 the count. We've seen Bryce start on the mound a couple of times for Edenton. He's played at second base the last few games, batting ninth today. One, Stevens takes it for a called strike, 1-2 the count. Stevens went 0 for 2 last night against the Fungo, had a pair of walks. Steamers already with 3 hits tonight here against Devin Hicks. Here's the 1-2. Stevens swings and misses at a ball in the dirt. Feathers got it. He'll throw to first to complete the strikeout. And that's out number 2 here in the second. Steamers back up to the top of the lineup. It'll be Chase Bruno coming up to the plate. Bruno led off this game with a single for the Steamers. First pitch to Bruno. He'll take it in there for a called strike, 0-1. In the first, Bruno continued his trend of a hit in every game so far this summer for the Clams. He'll swing on an inside pitch, chops it inside the Steamers' dugout. 0-2 the count. Gage Riddick over there tried to grab it out of the air, was unable to get it. Last night's Steamer of the game, hanging out at the back corner of the dugout on the third base side. 0-2 the count to Bruno. Runner at second. The pitch in the dirt. Nice job by Feather to handle it. Count moves to 1-2. Cole forced to hold at second. Bruno leads the team in hits, runs batted in, slugging percentage, batting average. Everything you want out of your leadoff man. The pitch to Bruno outside, 2-2. Bruno went 1 for 4 last night against the Fungo. He's embodied consistency here through the first 8 games of the season for Edenton. That one's in the dirt. Cole's going to take off for third, and the throw goes into left field. Cole's going to come all the way home to score, and the Steamers pick up their second run of the inning on an errant throw. It's now 3-1 Edenton. Feather did a nice job keeping the ball in front of him. Hunter Cole might have thought it got a bit further away. He was about halfway down the line as Feather went to make that throw. And it hopped well before the third baseman Hughes and into left field, and Cole got back to his feet and waltzed all the way home. 3-2 pitch to Bruno is popped foul and out of play. Two runs here in the second for the Steamers after putting up 1 in the first. Back out ahead 3-1. The offense still looking to put a big night all together. Just 3 runs last night at Wake Forest. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Bruno fouls it down the line. Out of play. We'll do it again at 3-2. Bases are empty now for Bruno as Hunter Cole, who doubled in Alden Cottle, came around to score. Bruno trying to keep things alive here with 2 outs. The pitch up high, ball 4. A nice at bat for Chase Bruno. And the Steamers have a 2-out base runner as Nate Paulson will come up to the plate. Bruno on for the second time tonight. Nate Paulson doubled back in the first with Bruno over at first, putting them both in scoring position to lead off the inning. And Hicks will throw over to first, and they nearly got Bruno. They tried to pick him off back in the first. There was a bit of a nonchalant hop back to the bag. This time he had to go all the way out. And they throw over again, and Bruno barely back in again.
Paulson reached 3 times last night against the Fungo, 1 for 3. Walked twice, scored a pair of runs. It's a good night for Nate Paulson, who is batting later in the lineup, moves up to second in the order today. First pitch is up over his head for a ball. 1-0 the count to Paulson. Starter Devin Hicks has allowed 3 hits so far and a walk. Just under 2 innings of work. Pitch from Hicks. Up high, and Feather threatens to throw back to first. Bruno back in. 2-0 the count. The Steamers have done a good job getting ahead in counts with Devin Hicks, who I mentioned in the spring did not make an appearance longer than 2 1/3 innings. Right up against the 2-inning mark today. That pitch is up over the head of Paulson. It's off the glove of Feather, and Bruno will easily take second base. Now there will be a meeting out at the mound as Devin Hicks really struggling to find the zone here in the second. Trying to keep the Redbirds deficit to at least 2. A long stare in on this meeting at the mound. Chris Totolo out there talking with his starting pitcher tonight, pointing straight out at the plate, not quite sure. And now we're seeing Hicks kick up a little dirt on that mound, as we saw Totolo do as he went out there. We saw Nicky Wolking have some issues there in the first inning, messing with the area where you land on the mound after going through the pitch. We'll reset here in the at-bat for Paulson. Ahead in the count 3-0. Chase Bruno down at second. Hicks is ready. 3-0 pitch. In the dirt, ball 4. The Steamers work back-to-back 2-out walks. And they've got 2 aboard for Jackson Hipp, who knocked in the first run of the night. Conversation there between the head coach and his catcher, saying, I wanted a fastball out of that conversation. It was an off-speed from Hicks in the dirt. I'll bring Jackson Hipp. I mentioned had a sac fly back in the first to score Chase Bruno. He'll chop that one foul and out of play. 0-1 the count. Maybe a little miscommunication there from the Redbirds dugout and their pitcher and catcher. Steamers trying to take advantage here. 2 on, 2 outs in the second. Already ahead by 2 as that one's across for a called strike. 0-2 the count. Hip down in the count. 0-2 the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. The Steamers get 2 back here in the second and retake the lead. It's Edenton 3, Norfolk 1 here at Lakewood Park. The Steamers are proud to announce that Venture Tours is the official travel partner of the team for the 2022 season. Venture Tours is a family-owned business specializing in motor coach transportation. The owners have been in the motor coach industry for more than 40 years. A mixture of hard work and family legacy helps create Venture Tours, one of the most successful motor coach companies in Hampton Roads, coastal Virginia. If you're interested in traveling with Venture Tours, give them a call at 757-494-1480 or visit venturebustours.com. Hello and welcome back to Lakewood Park here for the bottom half of the second. The Steamers retaking the lead, scoring 2 in the top half, leading 3-1 here against the Norfolk Redbirds. It's the team's first matchup of the season, the final opponent in the Premier Collegiate League that the Steamers had yet to play. Steamers 2-2 in PCL play coming into tonight. The Redbirds 1-1 in league play and 1-1 overall. Nicky Wolking back on the mound. His first pitch is up high for a ball, 1-0. Jack Morrick at the plate now for the Redbirds out in left field tonight for Norfolk. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. That one count evens up 1-1. The Redbirds had a pair of hits back in the first inning. Were able to tie the game up at 1 at the time. Here's Wolking's 1-1. Swung on and fouled on the first base side and out of play. Once again, Wolking in his second start of the season, his third appearance overall. Trying to settle in here after giving up a first inning run. From the windup, the 1-2. Swung on and hit fouled on the third base side. We'll do it again at 1-2. Steamers on the road for the 4th time this season, 2-1 so far. The only loss, a 10-9 heartbreaker in Tarboro after the Steamers were ahead 9-2. Still looking to bounce back. The Steamers have won 2 in a row. Looking to make it 3 tonight. Here's Wolking's 1-2 again. That one's fouled back again. The Steamers started off the season 3-0 before dropping back-to-back games to Tarboro and Greenbrier. They followed it up with 2 wins as of late against Suffolk and Wake Forest. Looking to make it the second 3-game winning streak of the year. Here's the 1-2 pitch again. Swing and a miss. He got him. It gets through Boyd. Morrick's hustling to first. Boyd doesn't make the throw, and it's a strikeout, but Morrick will reach. That'll bring Alex Brown to the plate with a runner aboard here in the second. Brown out in right field tonight for the Redbirds. That one's a bit outside. 1-0 the count as Wolking sort of slips off that mound again. We've seen both sides now messing with the bottom of the mound here through the first couple of innings. Here's the 1-0 from Wolking. That one is swung on and hit high out towards right. Jackson hit, moves in. He'll make the catch for the first out here in the second. With one down, that'll bring up Jake Gensler, the designated hitter tonight for Norfolk. Wolking out of the mound. Wolking, the only left-hander on the Steamers roster until today. Jack Van Doren from Long Island University came in. He's in the dugout tonight. Wolking will throw over. Back in quickly as Morrick. Van Doren, not sure if he'll be ready to go tonight. He's in uniform. We'll see. Justin Hill's used guys on their first day of arrival before. Gensler will call for time before he sees his first pitch. So Wolking will have a little bit of help in the left-handers department whenever Van Doren is ready to go. The first pitch to Gensler. Swung on and fouled straight back. Owen won the count. It's Jack Morick over at first, who struck out but was able to reach on a ball that got all the way to the backstop. Gensler up with a man over at first. One down here in the second. Wolking takes a stare in. Pitch. Swings and misses on a pitch that hit him. The count moves to 0-2. Morick was off and running on the play. It's strike two. Despite it hitting Gensler in that looked like the right foot. He says he's good to go. Jeremiah Boyd takes his mask off for a moment, maybe giving him another moment to collect himself. Wolking's ready. Here's the 0-2. Swung on, hit hard, and fouled on the first base side. We'll do it again at 0-2. Gensler went 1 for 2 last night, struck out once. He's 1 for 4 overall this season. One of a few different rising freshmen for this Redbirds team. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on, hit hard into right field. That'll drop for a base hit. Morick will stay right on second, didn't make a turn. And there's runners at first and second with one out here for the Redbirds. That'll bring up the man batting ninth tonight for Norfolk, Jackson Hughes. Playing third, he's got 2 on with 2 outs. Steamers scored 1 in the first. The Redbirds matched it with 1 of their own. Steamers scored 2 in the second. Hughes shows bunt. He'll take it for a called ball, 1-0. The Redbirds trying to match the Steamers here for the second straight inning. Three hits tonight so far for the Redbirds. Hughes shows bunt again. This time he pops it up into the fence. Count evens up at 1-1. Jeremiah Boyd was quick to get off his feet, but it went right into the fence. Hughes will probably look to move his runners over again. Put 2 in scoring position, try and get the top of the order back up. He's the 9-hole hitter tonight. Got an even count at 1-1. Wolking takes a peek back to second, and he'll now step off and take a turn that way. It's Morick forced to dive back in. Jack Morick down at second. He struck out, but advanced to first on a ball that got away. It's Jake Gensler over at first, who singled. Here's the 1-1. In the dirt. Hughes didn't show bunt that time. Count moves to 2-1. Gensler, one of those 5 guys on this team out of First Colonial High School, still awaiting their first collegiate season. 2-1 pitch. Swings and chops it over towards second. Stevens moves in. He'll collect it. His throw to first is in time. So Hughes effectively still gets the job that he came to the plate wanting to do done. He moves the runners to second and third with 2 outs here in the second. And the Redbirds have the top of the order back up. It will be Justin Lakos up to the plate. Lakos singled his first time up. He's got 2 in scoring position. But the Redbirds down by 2. Wolking back into the windup. Here's his first pitch to Lakos. Taken for a called strike, 0-1. Lakos just his second hit of the season with that first inning single. Only the third game of the year so far for the Redbirds. That one is swung on and fouled out of play on the first base side. Count moves to 0-2. Wolking a chance to work out of a big jam with runners in scoring position. Trying to keep the Steamers' 2-run lead. From the windup, here comes the 0-2. That one's a bit outside. 1-2 the count. A long staring for Wolking. He'll step off as him and Jeremiah Boyd try and get on the same page. Wolking's allowed 3 hits through the first time through the order of the Redbirds. Here comes the 1-2. Swing, a check swing, they say. He went. Strikeout number 4 for Wolking. And he gets out of the second inning without allowing another run. We head to the third here at Lakewood Park. It's the Steamers 3, the Redbirds 1. Hello and welcome back to Lakewood Park here for the top half of the third. The Steamers ahead 3-1. Houston Wright will lead things off for the Clams here in the third, and he'll sky that one out towards center. Debaucher's moving over. He'll get under it and make the catch for the first out here in the third. That'll bring Tanner Thatch up to the plate now for the Steamers. Struck out looking his first time up. Thatch getting the starter over at first tonight for Tate Abbott. First pitch he sees, he'll leave it outside. 1-0 the count. Abbott going to miss a couple of games with some right knee soreness. Thatch moving in from right field where he got his last start a couple of games ago. He'll leave that one in the dirt. 2-0 the count. We saw starting pitcher Devin Hicks really struggle to find the zone back in that second inning. Steamers got ahead in a lot of counts. They walked twice. Were able to put 2 more runs on the board. Thatch ahead 2-0. Here comes the pitch. Inside, 3-0 the count. Thatch just graduated from Perquimans High School yesterday, which is why he had to miss the game in Wake Forest. 3-0. Taken for a called strike at the knees, 3-1. Thatch missed some time at the beginning of the year playing for Perquimans, and it was probably well worth it. A team that went on to win the state title. Now Feather is down. He's got his helmet off. Glove on the ground. Pitch that was fouled back into him. He is all the way at his knees, and
fellow catcher Jeremiah Boyd out there to pick up some of the equipment. You'd have to think Boyd's felt this feeling a couple of times, trying to be there for his catcher. Thatch will go have a meeting with Ashton Roy, one of the two assistants on this team. Delton Stallings, the other assistant for the Clams. Roy over at first. Back when the Steamers were playing the Voyagers, they had no hits through the first 4 innings. The Steamers knew that something had to change, and Coach Stallings and Coach Roy decided that it was only right to send Roy over there to first and try and get some good juju for the team. And the Steamers were successful with that switch. Jeremiah Boyd hit a 2-run home run, and ever since that inning, Ashton Roy's been the first base coach. Head coach Justin Hill over there at third, coaching in that same spot as he has for the first 8 games. Feather fortunately back on his feet. He seems like he's ready to go after getting a bit of a break there. The count is full at 3-2. Thatch steps back into the plate. He apologizes to Feather on the way in. It was a foul ball. Nothing he can really do about it, but a nice gesture nonetheless. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Thatch grounds that one towards the middle. Moving over his body. His throw to first is a bit low, but it's handled by Proctor for the second out here in the third. That'll bring Jeremiah Boyd up to the plate. 2 outs here in the third. Boyd grounded out his first time up. Back at the plate tonight. His first swing is fouled straight back, 0-1. Boyd 4 hits in the young season, hitting .308 through the 5 games he's suited up. He'll take the 0-1 outside for a ball. Count evens up at 1-1. Jeremiah Boyd out of Presbyterian College in 45 games this spring, hit .245, tallied 35 hits. 1-1 pitch. In there for a called strike, 1-2. Boyd started a couple of games ago against the Suffolk Voyagers back at historic Hicks Field. Went 1 for 3 with a 2-run home run that night as that pitch comes right back in. Just missed for a ball. It's even at 2-2. That was a nice off speed from Hicks. He'll do it again. The 2-2. That one's outside. Count fills up to Boyd, 3-2. Boyd hitting 6 tonight for the Clams. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and hit high and deep out towards left. Moving back is Morick. He's going to watch it go up against the wall. Boyd rounds first. He'll head over to second. A stand-up double for Jeremiah Boyd with 2 outs in the third. It's Boyd's second extra base hit of the season. And the Steamers have a man in scoring position with 2 outs as Alden Cottle comes up to the plate. Hicks back from the stretch. The first pitch to Cottle's in the dirt. It gets up against Feather. Boyd will move over to third. Boyd just 90 feet away with 2 outs here in the third. Alden Cottle in the box for the Steamers. Cottle again over at third tonight after getting last night off. Jared Beebe got the start at third against Wake Forest. 1-0 to Cottle. He'll let that one come across for a called strike. Count evens up at 1-1. It's the throw. A little bit errant back to the pitcher. Immediately the Redbirds got a bit nervous as if Boyd was going to come home, but the home plate umpire comes out and says it was his own interference. 1-1 pitch. That one's in the dirt. It bobs high up into the backstop. Boyd's coming home. The flip to the plate, and Jeremiah slides in safely. Jeremiah Boyd takes a trip all the way around, and he puts the Steamers ahead 4-1. Some alert base running for Boyd. That's the third pitch that we've seen. Get by Aiden Feather. That one in the dirt, bounced nearly up and over the fence. It got so high up here. Jeremiah Boyd, a 2-out double, takes third on a ball that got to the backstop and does the same, taking home. The Steamers extend the lead to 3. As that one's in the dirt to Cottle. His count moves to 3-1. The Steamers have scored in each of the first 3 innings here tonight at Lakewood Park. Cottle's ready. That one's inside. Ball 4. The Steamers have another 2-out base runner here in the third. It's Cottle over at first. And we'll have another meeting out at the mound. It's the third walk of the night for Devin Hicks. And again, they'll try and work on the bottom half of that mound, and we'll have a pitching change for the first time tonight for the Redbirds. That'll do it for Devin Hicks. We'll take a quick break. The Steamers out ahead here at Lakewood Park, 4-1. The Edenton Steamers and Edenton Aces are excited to join forces as the Edenton Baseball Club. The Edenton Baseball Club's mission is to raise money to benefit historic Hicks Field and contribute to the longevity of our beautiful facility. On Saturday, June 18th, the Steamers will be wearing special themed jerseys that bear the logo of the Steamers and the Aces. The jerseys will be auctioned off during the game, and the proceeds from this auction will directly benefit projects going on inside of historic Hicks Field. We appreciate your support of our historic homestand. Welcome back here to Lakewood Park, where the Steamers have put a run on the board for the 3rd straight inning. We had a pitching change for the Redbirds as Devin Hicks, the starter's night is over. Sparky Bannon, the right-hander, will come in, and he'll face Hunter Cole with a runner over at first. Devin Hicks' night is over. He allowed 4 runs on 4 hits, walked 3, and struck out 3 clams. Alden Cottle's over at first. He reached with a 2-out walk. And Hunter Cole's up to the plate. First pitch he sees, he'll take a bit outside. Count moves to 1-0. Cole knocked in a run with a double back in his first at bat, his first hit of the season. Here's the pitch, and he'll send that one the other way, just over the shortstop Lakos' head. It's a 2-hit night for Hunter Cole. And there's 2 aboard for the Steamers with 2 outs in the 3rd. Boy, that's got to be a good feeling for Cole, as the dugout already saying that he's the Steamer of the game. He might be in the lead so far. It's a great sight to see Hunter Cole with a couple of early hits. That'll bring Bryce Stevens up to the plate with 2 on. First pitch he sees in there for a called strike, 0-1.
Second pitch is hit high out towards right field. Brown is under it near the wall, and he'll make the catch to wrap up the top of the third. The Steamers add another. It's Edenton 4, Redbirds 1 as we head to the bottom half of the third. The Edenton Steamers are excited to announce that they will be hosting 2 youth baseball camps this summer. This year's camp dates are June 15th through the 17th and July 13th through the 15th. Young ball players between the ages of 5 and 13 are welcome. The cost is $100 to register. Your kid will receive first-class instruction from some of the best college baseball players around. Visit EdentonSteamers.com to register today. And that first camp just 4 days away. A ton already signed up, still some time to get your kid involved if they're not already. Some of the Steamers out here on the field today will be at that baseball camp. We're set to begin the bottom half of the third. The Steamers out ahead 4-1 against the Norfolk Redbirds here at Lakewood Park. The first trip to Lakewood Park this season for the Steamers. Lakewood Park, the home of the Norfolk Redbirds, the Suffolk Voyagers, the Greenbrier Knights, and the Virginia Beach Sea Dogs. The Steamers will be making quite a few trips here this summer. First pitch from Nicky Wolking's outside for a ball, 1-0. Wolking into his third inning of work. He's allowed just 1 run, struck out 4. 1-0 pitch is sent high in the air by Bonnie out to deep left field. Cole is back, looking up, it bounces up and over the fence. It's a ground rule double for Wes Bonnie. And Bonnie leads off the third with an extra base hit to put a man in scoring position with nobody out. It's the second hit of the night for Wes Bonnie, who had a single back in the first. Jason Debaucher will come up to the plate with a runner out in scoring position. Debaucher in center field tonight for the Redbirds as Wolking is back into the stretch. First pitch taken outside for a ball, 1-0. Wolking clearly a bit unhappy with the landing spot on this mound as he's slipped a couple of times, including that pitch there. The 1-0 pitch, taken high and away, 2-0. Debaucher struck out in his first at-bat back in the first inning. He's got Bonnie out at second, who led things off with a double. Here's the pitch. And he'll lay off. It's down low, 3-0 the count. Debaucher went 1 for 2 last game for the Redbirds. Still looking for hit number 1 here tonight. Wolking's ready from the stretch. 3-0 pitch. In there for a called strike, 3-1 the count. Wolking was able to work out of a jam in the last inning where the Redbirds had runners at second and third after allowing a run back in the first. A long stare in from Wolking. A couple of peeks back at second. Here's the 3-1. Floats in there for a called strike.
as Debaucher took a couple of strides towards first. That's the second time we've seen that tonight with a Redbird start running down the line before that strike was called. Count. Full count here to Debaucher. Wolking's ready. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on, hit down the third base line, and just foul. Barely missed that third base bag as Untitled chased, but wasn't able to get over to it. The Steamers might have dodged a bullet there if that ball's about a foot to the right. We'll do it again at 3-2 to Jason Debaucher out in center field tonight for the Redbirds. Wes Bonney out at second. The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Strikeout number 5 for Wolking. The second strikeout for Debaucher tonight. And there's one down here in the third. Wolking works back from a 3-0 count to strike out Debaucher. That'll bring Drew Proctor up to the plate. Struck out his first time up. Proctor, the cleanup man in the lineup tonight for Norfolk. Here's the first pitch he sees. He'll leave that up and away for a ball, 1-0. Wolking already 5 strikeouts tonight. He struck out 10 back in his first start against Virginia Beach on Sunday. Nearly a week ago, Wolking back in the stretch. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and hit foul down the third base line again. Count evens up at 1-1. Proctor 0 for 1. Last game, he's still looking for his first hit of the summer. Here's the pitch. That one floats in there for a called strike. 1-2 the count. Wolking trying to work around a leadoff double for Wes Bonney, who's still out at second. Here's the 1-2. Swung on, hit on a line on one hop over to Stevens. He'll handle, throw to first in time. Bonney moves over to third, but it's out number 2 here in the third. He hit it hard, but right at Bryce Stevens. That'll bring Aiden Feather up to the plate. Got hit hard with a foul ball behind the plate in the top half of the third. He's back on his feet and ready to go. Bonney over at third, 2 outs here in the third. Wolking back from the windup. That one floats in there for a called strike, 0-1. Wolking trying to get out of another couple of leadoff batters for the Redbirds, and he's ahead in the count, 0-2. Feather flew out his first time up. Here comes the 0-2 from Wolking. Swung on, hit high out in the air. Paulson's back. He's under it, and he'll make the catch to wrap up the third. Wolking works around a leadoff double, and the Steamers hold a 3-run lead. It's Edenton 4, Norfolk 1 as we head to the fourth. The Albemarle Area United Way is a nonprofit organization that improves residents' lives in 9 counties throughout northeastern North Carolina. This year, the Steamers have partnered up with the United Way and are looking forward to helping raise money for their services. On Friday, July 2nd, the Steamers will be wearing specially themed patriotic jerseys for the game. These jerseys will be auctioned off during the game, and all proceeds will go back to the Albemarle Area United Way. If you would like to have this one-of-a-kind jersey, be sure to be here that night and support a good cause. A huge thank you to H2O BX Water Park for making this night possible for the Albemarle Area United Way. Welcome back to Lakewood Park here for the top half of the fourth. It's the Steamers out ahead 4-1 over the Redbirds. Edenton back to the top of the lineup. Chase Bruno up to the plate. Bruno led off with a single tonight. He'll face Sparky Bannon. Bannon, the second pitcher of the night in for the Redbirds. That pitch is up high for a ball 1-0. Bannon came in relief of Devin Hicks, who got the start for Norfolk. Hicks allowed 4 runs. That one's out for a ball, 2-0 the count. Bannon was able to get out of the third inning without allowing another run, as he'll allow a hit right here to Chase Bruno, who slaps it right back up the middle. The second hit of the night for Bruno, the third time he's been aboard, and the Steamers have a man on with nobody out. I bring Nate Paulson up to the plate, who's also reached 2 times already tonight. Had a double back in the first, followed that up with a walk. Paulson waits on it, sends it on a line to third, caught by Hughes, throw back to first. Bruno gets back in before being doubled up. Paulson got all of that one, but it went right at Hughes. A nice play over there at third from Jackson Hughes. Tried to double up Chase Bruno at first, but alertly he got back in. Not that he had enough time to really get that far off the bag. It was into Hughes' glove right off the bat. One out here in the fourth. Jackson Hipp will come up to the plate with a runner over at first. Hipp leaves that one for a called strike. 0-1 the count. Hipp had a sac fly back in the first to score the opening run of the game for the Steamers. And he swings and sends that one high in the air, shallow left field. Running back is Lakos from short. He's under it, and he'll make the impressive catch. Lakos in full sprint from the time it hit the bat. Didn't look like Jack Mork, the left fielder, was going to get over there, and Lakos made it there in plenty of time for the second out here in the fourth. Houston right up to the plate, 0 for 2 so far tonight. Wright takes that one up and in for a ball, 1-0. Wright had a hit last night to break a 2-game hitless streak. That one's up and away, 2-0. Wright still looking for hit number 1 tonight. Went 1 for 5 against the Fungo with a double out to the right field fence. Wright sends that one high out towards right field. Brown is right there, and he'll make the catch. Wright hit it on a line, but Brown played it perfectly, and that'll wrap up the top of the fourth here at Lakewood Park. We head to the bottom half. It's the Steamers 4 and the Redbirds 1. Hello and welcome back to Lakewood Park here for the bottom half of the fourth. It's the Steamers leading the Norfolk Redbirds 4-1. Nicky Wolking back out on the mound for his fourth inning of work. That one's chopped to the left side by Feather. Coddles over. His throw is in time for the first out. Alex Brown up to the plate here for the Redbirds with one down in the fourth. First pitch from Wolking. Swung on and chopped third base side foul, 0-1. Brown 0 for 1 tonight, flew out in his first at bat. Out in right field for the Redbirds. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on, hit into right center field, hip moving in, and it will make the catch. It was hit hard, but Jackson Hip had it played pretty well. Took a couple of steps to his right and makes the second out here in the fourth. A quick pair of outs for Nicky Wolking. That'll bring up Jake Gensler. Gensler, the designated hitter tonight for the Redbirds. Batting eighth. Gensler nearly offered at it, lets it come across for a called strike. It's 0-1. Gensler singled back in his last at bat. He'll nearly offer at the 0-1. It's in the dirt. They're going to check it first and say he went. Count moves to 0-2. Wolking trying to work a quick bottom half of the fourth. This is only the sixth pitch of the inning coming from Wolking. Pitch. A called strike three. Nicky Wolking, a six-pitch fourth inning. He racks up his sixth strikeout of the game, and we'll head to the fifth. It's the Steamers still out ahead, 4-1. Venture Tours is excited to announce the return of their Atlantic City Casino Day trips. You don't have to break your piggy bank to visit Atlantic City for the day. Tickets are $85 and you must be 21 years or older to participate. The trip includes $35 in free slot play at Resorts Casino. These Saturday trips offer exciting escorted trips where you can ride in comfort and luxury. If you're interested in traveling with Venture Tours, give them a call at 757-494-1480 or visit venturebustours.com. Venture Tours is the official travel partner of the Steamers for the 2022 season. Hello and welcome back to Lakewood Park. Here's we're set to begin the top half of the fifth inning. Another pitching change for the Redbirds. Alex Gianniscoli into the game for Norfolk. Starter Devin Hicks went a Bit over 3 innings, allowed 4 runs on 4 hits. Sparky Bannon came in relief of him when 1 2/3 innings, didn't allow a run. Tanner Thatch will lead things off here in the 5th for Edenton. First pitch from Gianniscoli on the outside half for a called strike, 0-1. Thatch is 0 for 2 tonight, struck out back in his first at bat. The 0-1. Thatch on a rope to first. A nice scoop on one hop by Proctor. He'll take it to the bag for the first out here in the 5th. Thatch hit it hard, but it's the first out here in the 5th. Trend we've seen early in this game. The Redbirds making some nice defensive plays on some hard hit balls from the Steamers. Jeremiah Boyd up to the plate, doubled out to left his last time up. Second straight game with an extra base hit for Jeremiah Boyd. Second straight game that he's played in where he's had an extra base hit. Got the night off last night against the Fungo. First pitch he sees inside, called for a ball, 1-0 the count. Boyd 5 hits on the season, hitting over .310. Has hit very well in his first season in Edenton, and he'll foul that one straight back and out of play. Now moves to 1-1. Boyd, one of 2 catchers on the roster this season for Edenton. Case Kermode, the other catcher for the Steamers, back for his 3rd season. Kermode and Boyd have been swapping every other day amidst this 5-game and 5-day stretch. Boyd leaves that one low. It's called a ball, 2-1 the count. After that foul ball, Boyd looked back to the home plate umpire, sort of said that would have been a ball, right? And the umpire nodded, and Boyd knows he could be ahead 3-0 right now, but he's still got a 2-1 count. Here's the pitch. Boyd sends it foul on the third base side. Count evens up at 2-2. Boyd's ready. He'll take his step back into the box with a 2-2 count here in the 5th. Steamers ahead by 3. And the Clams' first trip to Lakewood Park of the summer. That one is hit high out to left field by Boyd. Moving back is Mork towards the wall, and that ball is up, and it bounces over the fence. They're going to give him a ground rule double. It's the 2nd double of the night for Jeremiah Boyd. A pair of extra base hits for Boyd. And he's aboard with 1 out here in the 5th. It is a low fence out there in left field. We've seen a pair of ground rule doubles tonight. Doesn't need to bounce very high. Alden Cottle up to the plate now. First pitch he sees from Gianniscoli is in the dirt for a ball, 1-0. Cottle reached on an error his first time up, eventually came around to score on a double from Hunter Cole. He singled, or he walked his last time up. Cottle nearly offers at it. It's a called strike. It's 1-1 the count. Cottle hitting .222 in the 5 games he's played coming into tonight. Looking for hit number 1 tonight is Cottle. He'll send that one on a couple of hops over to second. Handled by Benny. Throw over to first is in time. 2 down here in the 5th, but moving over to third is Boyd. And just having that runner at third is important. We saw Boyd score on a pass ball the last time he got over to third. Hunter Cole, a pair of hits already, an RBI double and a single in his last at bat. Hit the ball very hard in both of those hits. He'll swing and miss at the first pitch he sees. Count moves to 0-1. Cole's got a chance for another RBI. A runner over at third with 2 down in the 5th. Cole sends that one high out towards right center field. Moving back is Brown. Looking up, and it is gone! A 2-run shot for Hunter Cole. His 3rd hit of the night. And the Steamers are ahead 6-1. I think it's safe to say Mr. Edenton is back. Hunter Cole is absolutely feeling it here at Lakewood Park. It's the 4th Edenton home run of the season, the first for Cole, a part of a 3-hit night. Three runs batted in for Cole already. We're only in the 5th. A double, a single, and a home run for Cole. And that'll bring up Bryce Stevens. Inside for a ball, 1-0. Stevens leaves that one inside. Count moves to 2-0. Stevens 0 for 2 tonight. We'll see if he can have more luck against Gianniscoli. That one is swung on and missed by Stevens. Count moves to 2-1. Sparky Vannon came in second for the Redbirds. Was pretty solid through 1 1/3, but he got the quick hook, and now Gianniscoli into the game, who's behind in the count 3-1 to Stevens. He's allowed 2 runs here in the inning, thanks to a 2-run shot over the right field fence from Hunter Cole. Stevens doesn't offer at it. It's down low, and he draws a 2-out walk. The Steamers continuing to do damage here with 2 outs. It's the first time Stevens has reached base today. And we're back at the top of the lineup for Chase Bruno, who's already reached base 3 times. A pair of singles and a walk for Chase Bruno tonight. Gianniscoli's allowed a pair of hits in the inning and walked Stevens. Bruno lets that one come across for a called strike. 0-1 the count. Gianniscoli from the stretch. He'll throw over. Stevens back in safely. Now we'll have a meeting out at the mound as Feather will go to talk to Gianniscoli. The Steamers have scored in 4 of the 5 innings tonight. They lead 6-1. The offense starting to find its rhythm. A couple of close, low-scoring games for Edenton. They're looking to add on still with a man over at first and 2 outs in the 5th. Here's the pitch. That one's inside to Bruno. 1-1 the count. The 1-1 coming to Bruno. He'll swing and send that one foul on the first base side. It was handled by Proctor. The count moves to 1-2 now to Chase Bruno. Bruno once again the only Steamer with a hit in every game this summer. He's got a pair of them tonight. Looking to keep the line moving with 2 outs here in the 5th. Hunter Cole a 2-run home run with 2 outs, and Bryce Stevens followed him up with a walk. He'll throw over to first again. Stevens back in safely. And again, another throw over to Stevens. That's 3 throws over to check on Bryce. Stevens has some speed over there. Still no stolen bases this season. Stole 14 of them in his spring season. Now he takes off, and he'll have second without a throw. Right on cue, Bryce Stevens, his first stolen base of the season. And now a runner in scoring position for Chase Bruno. Pitch to Bruno. He sends that one high out towards left center field. Debaucher ranging over in back towards the wall. He'll make the catch to wrap up the inning. A deep fly out for Bruno, but the Steamers add 2 more. A 2-run homer from Hunter Cole for his 3rd hit of the night. The Steamers ahead of the Redbirds 6-1 as we head to the bottom of the 5th.
The Edenton Steamers are the greatest show in town. How can we make that any better? Throw in some fireworks. The Steamers have 2 fireworks scheduled for the rest of the summer. You can catch these shows on Saturday, July 2nd and Saturday, July 30th. Mark your calendars and we will see you at the ballpark. The first of what was initially 3 fireworks shows scheduled was back on the home opener, Saturday, June 4th. Welcome back here to Lakewood Park as we're set to begin the bottom half of the 5th. We've got a pitching change for the Steamers. Cameron Lewis enters the game for Nicky Wolking. Wolking went 4 innings, allowed 1 run on 4 hits, and struck out 6. Another high-quality start from Nicky Wolking. Struck out 10 in his first start. He leaves tonight with 6. Cameron Lewis into the game. Against Jackson Hughes. Hughes up to the plate, fouls off the first pitch he sees, down in the count 0-1. His 3rd appearance of the season for Lewis. He's pitched a little over 4 innings, an ERA just under 4. That pitch is outside for a ball. Count evens up at 1-1. Redbirds hoping they can find a little bit more success out of the Steamers' bullpen. That one's chopped over to third. Cottle waits on it. He's got it. Throw across the diamond is in time for out number 1. The Steamers have retired 7 consecutive Redbirds, and that'll take us back to the top of the lineup. And it'll be Justin Lakos up to the plate. 1 for 2 tonight. First pitch from Lewis. Just missed for a called ball. 1-0 the count. Lewis, one of 2 pitchers from West Virginia State University for the Steamers. Teammate Cyrus Bumgardner pitched last night in Wake Forest. Lewis on the mound tonight. 1-0 pitch is sky to high, back behind the plate and out of play. Count evens up at 1-1. Lakos singled his first time up, struck out in his last at bat. Struggled last night, was 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. The leadoff man here tonight. The 1-1 from Lewis. Up high for a ball, 2-1. The Steamers taking the trip out here to Lakewood Park, their 4th road game of the season. The Clams 2-1 on the road so far. 2-2 in Premier Collegiate League play, and the Redbirds sit at 1-1. That pitch is swung on and missed for strike 2. Count evens up 2-2 to Lakos. Every team in the Premier Collegiate League has a win except for the Suffolk Voyagers, who are now 0-3 on the season. 2-2 coming from Lewis. In there for a called strike 3. Strikeout number 1 for Lewis. Out number 2 here in the 5th. That'll bring up Wes Bonney up to the plate now for the Redbirds. With 2 outs in the 5th. 8 consecutive hitters retired by Steamers pitching. That one loops in there for a called strike. Nice pitch from Lewis. 0-1 the count. Benny's 2 for 2 tonight. A single and a double in his last at bat. Trying to get anything going for a Redbirds offense that's been stifled. Swung on and floated towards the back of the infield. Stevens moves into shallow right, and he'll make the catch on the run to retire the side here in the 5th. A 1-2-3 inning for Cameron Lewis. We head to the 6th here at Lakewood Park. It's the Steamers 6 and the Redbirds 1.
Hello and welcome back to Lakewood Park for the top half of the sixth. It's been a big night for the Steamers, out ahead 6-1 over the Norfolk Redbirds as we're set to begin the sixth. The first matchup between the teams this season. The final Premier Collegiate League team the Steamers were yet to play. Nate Paulson up to the plate now for the Clams. He'll leave the first pitch up high for a ball, 1-0. Paulson doubled his first at bat, then walked and lined out to third in his last at bat. Mounds on the inside corner, called a strike, 1-1 the count. Paulson, after a good night last night in Wake Forest, reached 3 times. Swings and misses at that one for strike 2, 1-2 the count. Moved up from the 9 spot in the lineup up to number 2 here tonight in Norfolk. Trying to set the table here in the 6th with nobody out. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on a pitch that was up near his head. And that's the first out here in the 6th. First strikeout here for Giannis Scully, the 3rd pitcher of the night for the Redbirds. Tyler West into the game to pinch hit for Jackson Hipp. West steps into the box against Giannis Scully and takes the first pitch up high. And he'll get first base on the first pitch he sees. It's the first time West has reached base this season, and he's aboard with 1 out in the 6th. Houston Wright will come up to the plate with a runner over at first, seeing if he can add to the offensive party for the Steamers. Wright 0 for 3 tonight. Takes that one in the dirt. The ball gets away from Feather, and West will move over to second. Tyler West now in scoring position is Wright. Ahead in the count, 1-0. Here comes the pitch from Giannis Scully. That one's down low. Feather handles. It's called a ball, 2-0. The count to Wright. Here's the pitch. Wright swings and misses at a pitch that was up high. He wanted that one. The count moves to 2-1. Wright 0 for 3 tonight. Second on the Steamers with 5 runs batted in as he fouls that one back. 2-2 the count. He's got an opportunity to add to that RBI total with the speedy Tyler West down there at second. West reached after being hit by a pitch. He moved over to second on a pass ball. Here's the 2-2 to Wright. He'll swing and send it on the ground over to first. Handled by Hughes. He'll flip to Giannis Scully, covering for the second out here in the 6th. West moves over to third on the play, and the Steamers have a runner at third with 2 down. Tanner Thatch will come up to the plate with West over at third. Thatch 0 for 3 tonight, a pair of ground outs and a strikeout. First pitch floats in there for a called strike. 0-1 the count to Thatch. Here's the 0-1. Thatch leaves it outside. 1-1 the count. Thatch hit a ridiculous .533 this spring at Perquimans High School. Big part of a state championship team, and he'll foul that one back. 1-2 the count. Thatch came into tonight just 2 for 5, only had 5 at bats. Still looking for hit number 1 here tonight. Had the night off last night, graduating from Perquimans. He's down to the count 1-2. Here's the pitch. That one bounces well before the plate. West came way off third. He's able to get back in. No throw from Feather. Feather blocked it nicely. West thought about taking home. We've already seen Jeremiah Boyd come home on a pitch that got by Feather. 2-2 count, 2 outs here in the 6th. Steamers looking to add on to a 5-run lead. The pitch to Thatch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Second strikeout of the inning for Giannis Scully, and that'll take us to the bottom half of the 6th. The Steamers strand one over at third, but Edenton still ahead, 6-1. Hello and welcome back to Lakewood Park here for the bottom half of the 6th. We've got a pinch hitter leading off here for the Redbirds. It's Matthew Dengler facing Cameron Lewis out there for his second inning of work. Steamers ahead by 5. Dengler watches the first pitch come across for a called strike, 0-1. Dengler, one of a few rookies on this squad for the Redbirds, a rising freshman. 0-1 pitch, he'll leave that in the dirt. Count evens up at 1-1. Dengler still looking for his first hit of the summer through the Norfolk Redbirds' first couple of games. He does have an RBI. Batting here for Jason Bosher, who started the game out in center field. That pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 2. Cameron Lewis went 1-2-3 in his first inning of work back out here in the 6th. Steamers have retired 10 straight Redbirds. That one is chopped over to second. Stevens moves in. Make it 11 straight Redbirds. That's the first out here in the 6th. Four up, 4 down here for the Redbirds against Cameron Lewis. We've got another pinch hitter coming in. It's Alec Aguilar in for Drew Proctor. The Redbirds doing anything they can to try and get some offense. It's been a long time since they've had a runner on base. Pitch from Lewis. Swung on and missed at a high fastball. It's 0-1 the count. Aguilar in for Drew Proctor, who started over at first tonight. Aguilar went 1 for 2 last night. He'll swing, barely got any of it, and it's Lewis over to make the catch. A running grab for the man on the mound. It's out number 2 here in the 6th. Our first non-pinch hitter of the inning for the Redbirds. That'll bring up Aiden Feather. Feather catching tonight for the Redbirds, 0 for 2. Lewis with a long look in. First pitch to Feather. Swung on and hit high, foul territory down the first base side. That's going to trend out and out of play. Owen won the count. Thatch gave chase all the way to the fence. Feather came into this one hitting .429 through the first couple of games for the Redbirds. But he's still without a hit tonight. The Steamers have retired 11 straight Redbirds hitters. Pitch. That one's in there for a called strike, 0-2 the count. Lewis looking to work through his second straight 1-2-3 inning. Shakes off the first sign. He's got it. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and hit hard out into left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. It's going to bounce all the way towards the wall. Paulson back to get it. He'll throw it all the way in. It's a 2-out double for Aiden Feather. A big hit for Feather, his first of the night. The first hit, the first base runner in 12 batters for the Redbirds. That'll bring Jack Morick up to the plate. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Two outs in the 6th. The Redbirds have a runner aboard. It's Lewis. He'll go from the stretch. Trying to preserve the Steamers' 5-run lead. Out on a check swing. It bounces off the end of the bat and foul on the first pitch to Morick. Morick out in left field. Has a pair of hits coming into tonight. But 0 for 2 with a strikeout this evening. The 0-1 from Lewis. Up high. Count evens up at 1-1. A lot of dancing back there at second from Aiden Feather. We'll see if he continues to get a sizable lead. Bryce Stevens hanging out back behind second base for the Clams. Pitch up high. 2-1 the count. The Redbirds trying to have some of the same 2-out success that the Steamers have seen tonight. It's Feather out at second, who doubled Morick up at the plate. 2-1 the count, 2 outs in the 6th. And Lewis spins back. Feather's back in without a throw, but Lewis keeping his eye on him. Remember, the Steamers have picked off a runner in 3 straight games. See if Lewis thinks about it. He'll throw to the plate. That one's fouled back and out of play. Two and 2 the count now to Morick. Here comes the 2-2. Swung on, floated over towards first. Thatch, and it gets through Thatch on a bounce. They're going to wave Feather around third. He's coming home. The throw to the plate from Stevens is handled by Boyd. Feather's in safely, and the Redbirds are on the board here in the 6th. It's now 6-2. Alex Brown up to the plate now. Runner over at first. Steamers lead 6-2. Lewis trying to get out of his second inning of work. That one's in there for a called strike. 0-1 the count. That'll go down as an RBI single for Jack Moore on a ball that really just ate Tanner Thatch up over at first. Here's the 0-1. Runners off and going. A swing and a miss. Boyd's throw down to second is in time. Jeremiah Boyd was full sprint back to the dugout off the throw. They catch Morick trying to steal, and that'll wrap up the sixth here at Lakewood Park. The Steamers still ahead, 6-2. Every year, the Steamers are proud to have the opportunity to raise money for the Jim Catfish Hunter ALS Foundation. On Saturday, July 16th, the Steamers will wear special themed jerseys that'll be auctioned off during the game. Proceeds will go towards the fight to strike out ALS. Catfish Hunter is a Major League Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher that lived just a short distance away from historic Hicks Field. Was even a host family for the Steamers organization back in its inaugural year. Unfortunately, he lost his battle with ALS over 20 years ago. And the Steamers will continue to carry on his legacy and do their part to strike out ALS. We thank you for your support of this great cause. Welcome back to Lakewood Park here in the top of the seventh. The Steamers have dominated all night, out ahead 6-2. We've got another pitching change for the Redbirds. Tanner Simpson will come in for Alex Gianniscoli. Tanner Simpson out of Methodist University did not play in this spring, his sophomore season. We'll see if the Steamers have any other subs here in the seventh, as Justin Hill just had a conversation with home plate umpire. Tyler West already came into the game for Jackson Hipp. He was hit by a pitch in his only at-bat. The Steamers have scored in 4 of the 6 innings so far tonight and have been ahead since back in the second. They've only allowed 2 runs tonight. The combination of Nicky Wolking and Cameron Lewis on the mound. They've given up 1 run apiece so far. Jeremiah Boyd will step into the box to lead things off here in the 7th for Edenton. Boyd's 2 for 3 tonight with a pair of doubles. First pitch to Boyd, floats in there for a called strike, 0-1. Boyd's 2 doubles tonight. He now has 3 extra base hits on the season. That ties him with Jackson Hipp for the Steamers' lead. In the dirt for a ball, 1-1. Boyd already came into tonight hitting .308, sure to raise that average with a 2 for 3 night. Looking for his 3rd hit of the night. The count's even 1-1. Here comes the pitch. Floats up there high. 2-1 the count now to Boyd. He's had one of the best nights in the Steamers lineup, probably only behind Hunter Cole, who has 3 hits. 2-1 in the dirt to Boyd. 3-1 the count. He'll go and reach over, pick up the ball for Feather. We've already seen Boyd and Feather have a couple of conversations tonight. Back when Feather was hit by a foul ball, it took some time to get up. Boyd came over to the plate and picked up his mask and his glove and held it up for him while he waited for Feather to gather himself. Boyd, one of those guys that you're always going to see having a conversation with the catcher when he's hitting or the batter when he's catching. He's ahead in the count, 3-1 here against Tanner Simpson. The pitch. In there for a called strike. Maybe the mound visit from Feather did some magic for Simpson, who's the fourth pitcher of the night for Norfolk. Devin Hicks started. He was relieved by Sparky Bannon, then Alex Gianniscoli. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Was off speed, and Boyd does a nice job fouling it away to stay alive, and we'll do it again at 3-2. Steamers with 8 hits tonight here in Norfolk. 6 runs on the board. After winning a low-scored, tight game last night in Wake Forest, 3-2, it's good to see the Steamers' offense finding their footing. 3-2 pitch. Floats in there, called strike 3. A nice off-speed there from Tanner Simpson, and it's the first out here in the 7th. That'll bring up Alden Cottle, who's over at third tonight for Edenton. Cottle 0 for 2 tonight. He's also walked. He'll take that one for a called ball. 1-0 the count. Nice job by Simpson in the last at bat, falling behind 3-0 and able to work back and strike out Boyd. Now behind in the count 1-0. That one's fouled straight back by Cottle. 1-1 the count. Cottle got the night off last night in Wake Forest. He's back in the lineup today. He's played in 5 prior games, hit .222 coming into tonight. He'll swing at the 1-1 and slap it right back up the middle for a base hit. It was off speed from Simpson. Cottle did a nice job waiting on it, and he smashes it right over the glove of Simpson for his first hit of the night. And coming in to pinch hit for Hunter Cole is Davis Halstead. Cole done for the night. He had 3 hits, drove in 3 runs, a couple of extra base hits. A throw back over on Cottle, who's back in safely. Davis Halstead, like Thatch last night, missed the game for high school graduation. Him out of John A. Holmes High School in Edenton. First pitch to Halstead, up high for a ball, 1-0. Halstead, not a ton of at-bats, just 5 in 3 games so far this summer. He's still looking for his first hit, 0 for 5. Pitch to Halstead. He'll swing and miss at that one. Count evens up at 1-1. Halstead had a great spring at Holmes High School. Hit .453 in 25 games. Looking to bring that success over here to the college level. He's even in the count, 1-1 with Simpson, who steps off. And we'll wait to do it again. It's Alden Cottle over at first, who reached on a 1-out single. 1-1 the count to Halstead. Pitch. Waits on it, fouls it back, 1-2. A healthy dose of off-speed pitches from Tanner Simpson. Cottle was able to wait on it, whack it back into center field. Other Steamers haven't had the same success so far. A long stare in from Simpson, and he'll step off again. Maybe a bit of miscommunication there with Feather behind the plate. We've seen him step off a couple of times. Cottle a short lead off first. Here's the 1-2. Cottle's off and running. Pitches in there for a called strike. Throw down to second is not in time. Cottle swipes second on the strikeout. And with 2 outs here in the 7th, the Steamers have a man in scoring position. Bryce Stevens up to the plate here with 2 outs. And Cottle down in scoring position. That pitch is in the dirt. Nice job by Feather to handle it. 1-0 the count. Feather launched that one all the way to second base. Trying to catch Cottle napping. He was back in safely. 1-0 the count to Stevens. He'll swing and foul that one down the first base side. Count evens up at 1-1. Stevens 0 for 2 tonight. He walked in his last at bat. Here's the 1-1 from Simpson. Stevens fouls it straight back. 1-2 the count. Steamers with 8 hits tonight, 6 runs on the board here at Lakewood Park. One of the better offensive nights this season for Edenton. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Stevens takes it for a called strike 3, and that'll wrap up the top half of the 7th. We head to the bottom of the 7th. It's Edenton 6, Norfolk 2. Is your kid a fan of the Clam? Why not sign him up for the Steamers Kids Club, presented by Weatherly Insurance. Membership is free for all kids ages 12 and under. They receive 4 free tickets, a club t-shirt, a discount to baseball camp, and an invitation to an exclusive meet and greet event with the players. You can visit EdentonSteamers.com and download a registration form today. Hello and welcome back to Lakewood Park here in the bottom half of the 7th. The Steamers comfortably ahead 6-2 over the Norfolk Redbirds. The Steamers have made another pitching change coming into the game for the first time this season. Jack Van Doren, the tall left-hander out of Long Island University. Van Doren got to Edenton last night. Showed up to the office today to pick up his jersey, and he's into the game for the first time this season. We've seen Justin Hill do that with a few guys. They come in, even though it's their first day or two at Edenton, and they're ready to go. He's not afraid to throw them out there on the mound. Van Doren now becomes the second left-hander on the roster for the Clams. Funny enough, the second one used tonight for Edenton after Nicky Wolking started the game and went 4 innings. So we'll see what Jack Van Doren has in his first appearance as a Clam, with the Steamers up by 4 here in the 7th. Alex Brown will lead things off for the Redbirds. Van Doren's ready from the windup. His first pitch is fouled straight back by Brown. Owen won the count. That one got a piece of Jeremiah Boyd's mask on the way by. Brown 0 for 2 tonight. A pair of flyouts. The 0-1 pitch just misses the ball. 1-1 the count. One pitch to Brown. Swung on and fouled first base side and into the fence. 1-2 the count. Brown was up in the bottom half of the 6th inning before Jack Mork was thrown out stealing second. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Just missed inside. 2-2 the count. Van Doren made 5 appearances this spring at Long Island University. Pitched a tick over 4 innings, struck out 1. And he's got his first strikeout as a steamer there. On the first batter, he faces 1 down in the 7th. Jake Gensler up to the plate now. 1 for 2 today, struck out his last at bat. First pitch coming from Van Doren. That one misses high and away. 1-0 the count. Gensler, the designated hitter tonight for Norfolk. Got a hit tonight, his second of the season. The pitch from Van Doren is in the dirt for a ball 2-0. Clams leading 6-2 here in the bottom half of the 7th at Lakewood Park. Steamers 5-2 this season. Looking to put together their second 3-game winning streak of the year. Van Doren's 2-0 is in there for a called strike. 2-1. Steamers come into tonight 2-2 in Premier Collegiate League play. 5-2 overall. The Redbirds 1-1 in PCL play. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. It's 2-2. Steamers a game behind the Greenbrier Knights, who beat the Clams earlier this season, but also moved to 3-1 with a win over the Suffolk Voyagers earlier today. 2-2 the count to Gensler, who calls for time. Jack Van Doren not even waiting for Gensler to get back into the box. He is into his stance. He's got his sign. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. In there for a called strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Van Doren. And there's 2 outs here in the 7th. Steamers pitching once again, racking up the strikeouts. 11 Ks last night. They've got 9 in this one today. That one is fouled straight back by Jackson Hughes, up for the 4th time tonight. Hughes 1 for 3, singled back in his first at bat. He's grounded out in his last 2. The 0-1 from Van Doren. Just missed inside. 1-1 the count. Jackson Hughes came into tonight without a hit. Earned his first hit of the season back in his first at bat. He's behind in the count. 1-2 here to Van Doren. Van Doren, his first appearance as a Steamer. With the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, popped up. It's going to drift foul and out of play on the first base side as Thatch and Boyd move over towards the fence. Van Doren ended the spring on a strong note. Back-to-back scoreless appearances. None of his appearances too long, as mentioned, only about 4 innings and 5 total outings for Van Doren. All in relief. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled away again by Hughes. We'll do it again at 1-2. Jack Van Doren also comes into this roster as the second tallest player on Edenton, standing up at 6'4". Pitch, swing and a miss. He got him. Van Doren strikes out the side. The Steamers have 10 strikeouts as a staff, and we'll head to the 8th inning. It's Edenton 6, Norfolk 2. Hello and welcome back to Lakewood Park as we're set to begin the top of the 8th inning. The Steamers out ahead of the Redbirds 6-2. Steamers back to the top of the order. It's Chase Bruno up to the plate. Bruno 2 for 3 today. He's added a walk. First pitch coming into Bruno, and he'll foul that one straight back. Tanner Simpson back out on the mound for the Redbirds for his 2nd inning of work. Bruno with the count 0-1. Here's the pitch. Swings and grounds it over towards third. Nice play with the backhand from Gensler. Thrower to first. In time. It looked like Bruno had it beat. They're going to say he's out. And it's the first out in the 8th. A long throw across the diamond for Gensler. And now with 1 out here in the 8th, that'll bring up Adam Fine. Another Steamer here. Got here today, checked in. It's his first at bat of the season. Fine returning for his 3rd season in Edenton. He's up to the plate with a 1 out here in the 8th. First pitch he sees is a called ball, 1-0. Fine only played a couple of games last season before being injured on a collision in the outfield. For a big redemption tour here in Edenton in 2022. He lets that off speed come across for a called strike, 1-1. Fine was at St. Joseph's University this spring. Hit .250 and 12 at bats. He lets that one stay up high for a ball, 2-1. After the injury last season to Fine, he actually moved into the broadcast booth next to Ray Dunn, last season's broadcaster. Does a pretty good job with this whole media thing, does Fine. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Fine watches that one go in the dirt for a ball. 3-1 the count. He's out ahead of Simpson. Fine trying to get things started here in the 8th for the Steamers. We've gone a few innings without putting anything on the board, but when you put 6 up early, you're usually going to be in a good spot. 3-1 Fine watches it come across for a called strike. 3-2 the count. Three and two the count. Fine in his first at bat of the season. The pitch breaks his bat. He pops it up towards third. It's an easy catch for Gensler. And that's the second out here in the 8th. Most of the bat still intact, but you could really hear it just rip apart on that swing for the second out in the 8th. Got to bring up Tyler West up for his second at bat of the night. Was hit by a pitch in his first at bat. West swings and fouls that one off to the right side. 0-1 the count. West came in for Jackson Hipp, who went 0 for 2 with a sac fly back in the first. West looking for hit number 1 of the season. Here's the 0-1 pitch. He'll leave it outside. 1-1 the count. Hunter Cole came into tonight without a hit, and he left the game with 3s. We'll see if Tyler West can have some similar success. The 1-1 pitch. He'll send that one up towards the middle. A nice play by Lakos. The throw across the diamond is dropped over at first, and Tyler West is in. Tyler West, it's his first hit of the season, an infield hit. Shows off some speed on a grounder to short. And the Steamers have another runner aboard with 2 outs, this time in the 8th. Tyler West breaks an 0 for 7 start to his season with that single. That'll bring Houston right up to the plate. 0 for 4 tonight. Wright watches that one go low. 1-0 the count. Wright came into tonight with the second most at-bats of any Steamer with 30. Chase Bruno was in the lead with 31. Wright will swing and crush that ball foul on the first base side. Count evens up at 1-1. One and one the count to Wright. It's West over at first, who reached on an infield hit. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on, chopped over to the right side. Handled by Aguilar. His throw to first is in time to end the inning. We'll head to the bottom half of the 8th. The Steamers still ahead by 4. It's Edenton 6, Norfolk 2. The Steamers are excited to announce a newfound partnership with the Boys and Girls Club of the Albemarle. This season will mark our first annual jersey fundraiser for the organization. To coincide with our Chowan County Cantaloupes moniker,
we'll be wearing special themed jerseys on all home Tuesdays at Historic Hicks Field. Our final home Tuesday on July 19th, we'll be auctioning off the Cantaloupes jerseys. All proceeds will go towards the summer programs that benefit the kids of the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Albemarle. We would like to extend a huge thank you to RC Theaters Albemarle Movies 8 for their sponsorship and support of the Boys and Girls Club. Thank you for your support of this great cause. Welcome back here to Lakewood Park for the bottom of the 8th inning. The Steamers out ahead 6-2. Another pitching change for the Clams. It's Chris Morris up to the mound, making his 3rd appearance of the season, coming in relief of Jack Van Doren. In Van Doren's first appearance of the year, he pitched an inning and struck out the side. A pretty efficient night for Jack Van Doren, and now Chris Morris will try and take the Steamers presumably the rest of the way. Morris has pitched in 2 games, 1 2/3 innings. He's 1-0, an ERA just over 5, and he struck out 3. Justin Hill maybe taking an opportunity here to get more pitchers into the game that don't normally get as many reps. And Cameron Lewis, Van Doren, it was his first game, and now Chris Morris. A lot of rumblings of thunder behind us as we're underway in the bottom of the 8th. Up to the plate is Justin Lakos, who led off the game for the Redbirds, and he swings and misses at the first pitch he sees. 0-1 the count. Lakos 1 for 3 today. He struck out his last 2 at-bats. Morris is set here. It comes from the windup. The pitch. Tries to float that one in. It stays a bit high. 1-1 the count. The 1-1 from Morris. Check swing. It's a called strike. 1-2 the count to Lakos. Lakos came into tonight with just 1 hit. He's hitting 167 through 2 games. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Boyd able to apply the tag to finish it off. It's the first out here in the 8th. Third strikeout of the night for Lakos. 4th straight strikeout for Steamers pitching. It's the 11th strikeout overall for the Clams, who matched their total from last night against the Fungo. That one's popped foul by Bonnie, 0-1. Bonnie 2 for 3 today, a double and a single. The only hitter for the Redbirds with multiple hits tonight. Behind in the count 0-1. Morris leaves that one a bit high, 1-1 the count. Morris came into the game with the highest strikeout per 9 inning rate on the Steamers. It was up over at 22.5. So that one's in there for a ball, 2-1. Morris adding another strikeout to the first hitter he sees is only going to bump that rate up. 2-1 pitch. In there for a called strike, 2-2 the count. Bonnie 0 for 2 last night. He's responded with a couple of hits tonight. Down in the count, 2-2 the pitch. Takes it outside for a ball. Full count 3-2. He was even in the count 2-2. Now it fills up at 3-2. Morris is ready. Here's the pitch. Swung on and hit foul on the first base side. We'll do it again at 3-2. Four consecutive strikeouts for Steamers pitching. Morris trying to add on to that. He's ready. Here's the pitch.
Swung on, chopped foul on the third base side. We'll do it again at 3-2. Steamers ahead 6-2 tonight here in Norfolk. Got a bunch of runs early. Got 3 in the first 2 innings. 3 runs batted in from Hunter Cole, who left the game with 3 hits. A lot of offense here for Edenton after just putting up 3 last night in Wake Forest. 3-2 pitch. Swung on, chopped over towards third. Cottle takes it on a high bounce, throws across and in time for the second out of the 8th. 2 up, 2 down here against Morris. That'll bring up Matthew Dengler. Dengler grounded out in his last at bat. The third batter to face Chris Morris tonight. Morris is ready from the windup. His first pitch to Dengler. Swing and a miss for a strike, 0-1. Morris only allowed 1 hit through his first couple of appearances, trying to keep the Redbirds hitless in this inning. The 0-1 is swung on and missed, strike 2. Dengler 0 for 1 tonight, came into today without a hit through the first 2 games for the Redbirds. Morris is ready. The 0-2, it's strike 3 swinging. Second strikeout of the inning for Morris. And we head to the 9th. It's the Steamers ahead, 6-2. Who's ready to rock? The first annual Clam Jam is coming up on Saturday, September 24th. We'll welcome 3 awesome bands to jam out at historic Hicks Field. Starting at 4 p.m. that afternoon, PB&J will take the stage, followed by the Eric Dunlow Band at 6, and the headlining Daniel Jordan Band at 8. Available tickets are on EdentonSteamers.com for $15 or can be purchased at the gate that night for $20. Bring your lawn chair and take the field for the rockin' event. Numerous food and beverage options will be available all night. We hope to see you there. Hello and welcome back to Lakewood Park, where the Steamers are looking to lock things down against the Norfolk Redbirds. Out ahead 6-2 here in the 9th. Tanner Thatch will lead things off for the Clams, 0 for 4 tonight. And he'll be up against Bradshaw Morrison, the 5th different pitcher for the Redbirds. That one's up and in on Thatch for a ball, 1-0. Orson was up high with a lot of his warm-up pitches. We'll see if he can bring it down here against Thatch. The 1-1 is right there for a called strike. 1-1 the count. Thatch over at first base tonight. His first start there, in for Tate Abbott. He's going to miss a couple of games with right knee soreness. That one's inside, 2-1 the count. Abbott had started every game this season for the Steamers over at first. Abbott had one of the highest on-base percentages on the team at .391, was hitting .300. Thatch watched that one come across for a called strike, 2-2. But the Steamers have done a good job in Abbott's absence. Thatch has done a nice job defensively over at first, and now looking for his first hit of the night. The 2-2 pitch. Floats up there high. Count fills up at 3-2. Thatch came into tonight a pair of hits and 5 at-bats over the 3 games he's appeared in. 3-2 pitch. Inside, it hits Thatch on the right arm, and he leads things off. A hit by pitch. He'll be the first base runner of the 9th here for the Steamers. Jeremiah Boyd will come up to the plate for the Clams. A pair of doubles and 4 at-bats for Boyd. He's here with a man aboard and nobody out in the 9th. Boyd looking to provide some insurance. Boyd was hitting over 300 coming into tonight. He's added a couple of hits. He's sure to raise that average after this one. Watch the first one come across for a called strike. 0-1 the count to Boyd. Boyd with Thatch over at first. The 0-1. Up high, 1-1 the count. Clams trying to win their 3rd straight. And in their first trip to Lakewood Park, trying to wrap up a 6-2 win here in the 9th. That one's up high again for Morrison, 2-1 the count. Morrison over at Christopher Newport University did not pitch this spring. His first appearance of the summer for the Redbirds. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Boyd lets it come across. It's a bit outside for a ball, 3-1. Morrison trying to avoid letting the 2nd straight runner on here in the 9th. Morrison's ready. The 3-1 pitch. Outside, ball 4. The first 2 runners reach for the Steamers. And nobody out here in the 9th. That'll bring Alden Cottle up to the plate. 3rd time Boyd has reached base tonight. We're going to have a meeting out at the mound with Chris Dodolo. Having a chat with Morrison, and he's doing the same thing he did when he talked with Devin Hicks, who started this game. He's sort of pointing at the mound, giving him an angle. You don't normally see these conversations go facing the mound and sort of describing the plane to throw at. Devin Hicks went 4 innings to start the game for the Redbirds, allowed 4 runs on 4 hits. Morrison in as the 5th pitcher used by Dodolo for the Redbirds tonight. Cottle with 2 aboard and nobody out in the 9th. First pitch. He'll swing and chop it over to 3rd. Hand on a tough hop by Dengler. He'll throw all the way to 1st, and it's in time. Thought about applying the tag to Thatch, who went right around him. Runners both move up. It's runners at 2nd and 3rd, 1 out here in the 9th. That'll bring up Davis Halstead, who struck out his first time up. Halstead came into the game to pinch hit for Hunter Cole, who went 3 for 3 today with a couple of extra base hits, including a 2-run home run. Now it's Halstead with 2 in scoring position. He'll watch that first one come across for a ball, 1-0. Halstead's appeared mostly as a pinch hitter this season, only in 3 games, just 6 at-bats this season, still looking for hit number 1. That one's down low, 2-0 the count to Halstead. The Redbirds infield right up against the grass. Can't afford to really fall behind by more than 4. Pitch to Halstead. He'll watch that one sit out for a ball. 3-0 the count to Davis Halstead. Halstead back in the lineup after missing last night in Wake Forest. He's ahead 3-0 with 2 men on. Pitch. That one's across for a called strike. 3-1 the count. Morrison hit Thatch to begin the inning. He walked Jeremiah Boyd to follow him there at second and third. Now Halstead up with 1 out, swings and fouls that one back. 3-2 the count to Halstead. Halstead digs in. 2 on, 1 out in the 9th. He was ahead 3-0. The count's full at 3-2. Here's the pitch. Just missed, ball 4. Halstead walks. It's the second walk of the inning for the Steamers, and it loads the bases up here in the 9th for Bryce Stevens. Stevens struck out looking his last time up. He's 0 for 3 today with a walk. Over at second base for the second straight game for Edenton. That pitch floats a bit high for a ball, 1-0. The corner infielders near the grass for the Redbirds. The middle infielders ranging towards second in double play territory. That pitch is up high for a ball, 2-0 the count to Stevens. Stevens yet to knock in a run this season. Has a great opportunity here with the bases loaded and just 1 out. He'll swing and hit that one over to third. It's scooped up by Dengler. He'll step on third, throw across to first. Stevens beat it out. Thatch comes home. The Steamers had a bit of insurance. It's now 7-2. Stevens knocks in a run on a fielder's choice. The Steamers add another one here in the 9th. It's a 5-run Edenton lead with 2 outs in the 9th. Back to the top of the lineup for the 6th time tonight. Chase Bruno steps to the plate. That one drifts high up near me behind the plate. Each runner will advance as Morrison just lost that one. Runners move to second and third. Counts 1-0 to Bruno. There were a couple of pitches like that from Morrison in his warm-ups before the inning that just sailed over Feather's head. Bruno up to the plate. He's reached 3 times today. A pair of singles and a walk. Ahead in the count, 1-0. He'll leave that one down low, ahead 2-0. Bruno came into today with a team-high 11 hits. He's added on to that to get up to 13. Pitch. Bruno fouls it off. 2-1 the count. Morrison's already given up 1 in the inning. He's walked 2. He hit another batter by a pitch. He's allowed no hits, but the Steamers have scored 1. They've got 2 more in scoring position as Bruno steps in. Pitch. Bruno lets it come across for a ball. It drifts to the backstop. Thinking about it was Halstead. Count moves to 3-1. Halstead hung home at third. It's Stevens over at second, who reached on a fielder's choice. It's Halstead down at third. Chase Bruno ahead in the count, 3-1 here in the 9th. Steamers already have 1 across in the inning. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, ball 4. The second walk of the night for Bruno, the fourth time he's reached base. And the Steamers have reloaded the bases. And Adam Fine will come up to the plate with the bases loaded, 2 outs in the ninth. It's his second at bat of the night. Fine popped out to the infield on a broken bat in his only at bat. Here's the pitch. Fine lets it come across for a called strike, 0-1. Fine in his last, not full, but good chunk of games played in Edenton in 2020. He knocked in 14 runs. Takes that for a called strike. He's behind 0-2. He's got a big opportunity to drive in a couple more in what would be his first of the season with the bases loaded, 2 outs, but he's behind in the count, 0-2. The pitch. Fine pops it up. Feather trying to get it in foul territory, and he makes a sliding catch. No umpire made a single. Now the out single comes up. Feather ran into Hughes over in foul territory, made a sliding catch, a fantastic effort. That'll wrap up the top of the ninth inning. The Steamers add one more to take a 5-run lead. We head to the bottom of the ninth here at Lakewood Park. It's Edenton 7, Norfolk 2. Hello and welcome back to Lakewood Park here in the bottom of the ninth as the Steamers look to close things out against the Norfolk Redbirds and try to improve to 6-2. Another pitching change for the Steamers. Travis Hamrick into the game for the first time. It's his second appearance of the season. He pitched an inning earlier in the year, allowed 1 run, struck out 1. He's out here in the ninth. First pitch from Hamrick is grounded over to third. Caudle's got it. He'll throw across in time for the first out. 1 pitch, 1 out for Travis Hamrick, who's got the whole dugout to their feet up against the fence. Certainly a team favorite, Hamrick. Into the game now, trying to lock things down as the first out on 1 pitch in the ninth. Hamrick committed to UNC, an injury forced a transfer. He's at Catawba Valley Community College. Didn't pitch this spring, but he's trying to gear up to get ready to go next year. The first pitch is up for a ball, 1-0 the count. Aiden Feather up to the plate, 1 for 3 on the day with a double in his last at bat. Takes that pitch from Hamrick up and in, 2-0. 5 pitchers used tonight by the Steamers. Nicky Wolking started and went 4. He was followed by Cameron Lewis, Jack Van Doren, and Chris Morris. And Hamrick into the game now as the 5th pitcher. Has Feather at a 2-1 count with 1 out in the ninth. Hamrick stares in. From the windup, the 2-1 pitch. In there for a called strike, 2-2. Hamrick standing at 6'3", 285, trying to work his second out of the ninth. The pitch up high over the head of Feather. Count fills up at 3-2. The Steamers out ahead 7-2 in game number 8 of the season. Looking for win number 3 on the road. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled back. We'll do it again at 3-2. Feather came into tonight with 3 hits. Through the first 2 games for Norfolk, a team high. He's added another tonight. 3-2 pitch in the dirt, ball 4. A runner aboard for Norfolk with 1 out in the ninth as Feather draws a walk. That'll bring Jack Morick up to the plate. Had an RBI single his last time up, but the second run of the night on the board for the Redbirds. Hamrick takes a peek over to Feather at first. Here's the first pitch, and that one gets Morick on the way in. 2 are aboard with 1 out in the ninth for the Redbirds. Travis Hammer trying to work through this 9th inning. 2 aboard for the Redbirds, just 1 out. Alex Brown to the plate, 0 for 3 tonight. Was struck out by Jack Van Doren his last time up. Now Jeremiah Boyd will go have a conversation out with Hamrick. A long conversation there at the mound as the Steamers trying to hold this 7-2 lead. The Steamers are 5-0 this season when they allow 3 runs or less, trying to keep it under that 3-run mark here at Lakewood Park. Hamrick back on the mound. First pitch to Brown. In the dirt, it'll go by Boyd. It gets to the backstop, and the runners move to second and third. It's Aiden Feather over at third. He reached on a walk. Jack Morick at second, who was hit by a pitch. Alex Brown up to the plate with the Redbirds down 5. It's ahead in the count 1-0. That's Hamrick trying to work them out of it. That one's up high, 2-0. The Redbirds still with some life here in the 9th. Not going down without a fight against Travis Hamrick. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swung on and popped up foul territory. It'll travel out of play. 2-1 the count. Brown swung at a pitch that might have been ball 3, but nonetheless, he gives Hamrick a big strike. 2-1 the count. Here's the pitch. That one's inside, nearly hit Brown. Count moves to 3-1. The Steamers no stranger to losing big leads. They blew a 7-run lead in Tarboro, trying to avoid the same fate here tonight. The pitch. That one's up high, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. The Redbirds have loaded the bases. Justin Hill a few steps out of the dugout. He's going to go have a conversation with Travis Hamrick. 7-2 Steamers lead here in the 9th, but the Redbirds have loaded up the bases for Jake Gensler. A pair of walks and a hit batter for Hamrick. have loaded things up as Justin Hill out in a long conversation with his pitcher and catcher. We'll see how far Hill allows Hamrick to continue into this game if he continues to put runners on base. A long conversation. Hill with a look over towards the bullpen. Can't quite see who's over there warming up, but trying to buy some time. One out here in the ninth. The Steamers have a 5-run lead, but the Redbirds have the bases loaded. Jake Gensler to the plate, 1 for 3 today. He struck out his last 2 times up. Hamrick's first pitch. It hits him square in the back. The 4th batter to reach for the Redbirds without a hit. 1 run comes in. The bases are still loaded. And all of a sudden, the tying run comes to the plate in Jackson Hughes. Hill out again, nearing the third base line. And this might be the change. He'll take a slow walk out to talk with Hamrick. As Gage Riddick moves over towards the bullpen. Riddick got his second save of the night last night. And that's going to do it for Travis Hamrick. He faces 5 hitters, walks 4. The Redbirds get 1 back here in the ninth. We'll take a short break. The Steamers ahead 7-3, 1 out here in the ninth. Hello and welcome back to Lakewood Park. The Steamers clutching a 4-run lead here in the ninth. The Redbirds have loaded up the bases. Cole Bates into the game now for Edenton to try and shut the door. Jackson Hughes to the plate, the tying run. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Travis Hamrick started the ninth, got the first hitter he faced out, and proceeded to walk the next 4 with a pair of hit-by pitches. Bates, one of the most reliable relievers in this Steamers bullpen. He's pitched 5 shutout innings. He's got a save to his name. He struck out 12. Bates is set. First pitch. In the dirt, it gets through Boyd. Merrick's going to hold over at third. The 1-0 count now to Hughes. Smork over at third was hit by a pitch. Alex Brown at second, who walked. And Jake Gensler at first, who was also hit by a pitch. Jack Hughes up to the plate. Still without a hit this summer. 0 for 9. The 1-0 from Bates. Outside, 2-0 the count. Bates here in a tough situation. Coming into the game with the bases loaded. Just 1 out in the ninth. His team ahead by 4. The Steamers came into this inning up 7-2. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Fouled off. 2-1 the count. A big strike for Cole Bates. Trying to work back in the count against Hughes. Bates, the 6th pitcher used tonight for the Clams. The 2-1. Swung on, hit through the hole on the left side for a base hit. 1 run comes home. Coming in to get it is Halstead. He'll get it in quickly. 1 run is in for the Redbirds. The bases are still loaded. The Redbirds cut it to 3. It's now 7-4. It's an RBI single for Jackson Hughes. And now the top of the order back up for the Redbirds. Justin Lakos back up to the plate. He's 1 for 4. He struck out 3 times tonight. The tying run for Norfolk over at first with 1 out in the ninth. First pitch from Bates. Down low for a ball. 1-0 the count. Cole Bates has only pitched in 5 innings this summer, and he struck out 12 batters. In need of a strikeout here. 1-0 pitch. Taken for a called strike by Lakos. The count evens up at 1-1. Lakos has driven in a couple of runs so far through the first 2 games for the Redbirds. Got an opportunity here with a runner at every base, just 1 out. Bates is ready. The 1-1 pitch. Lakos takes low. 2-1 the count. Hughes' hit was the first of the inning for the Redbirds. He's the 5th batter to reach base for Norfolk in the 9th. Here's the 2-1. A swing and a miss. Strike 2. Cole Bates evens up the count. 2-2. 1 out in the 9th. Steamers ahead by 3. Tying run over at first. The Clams trying to avoid a collapse here on the road and wrap up a 3-game winning streak. 2-2 coming from Bates. Swung on and fouled. It got a piece of the shoulder of Boyd. There's going to be a walkout to near the mound from the home plate umpire, trying to give Jeremiah Boyd some time to gather himself as he took that foul ball right off the right shoulder. Got a bit of the padding, but the padding not as strong up around that shoulder area. It's been a rough night for the catchers. Jeremiah Boyd's taken a couple foul balls. Aiden Feather on the Redbirds side took one that had him down for 2 or 3 minutes. Back to the at-bat. 2-2 the count to Lakos. Bates is set. The pitch. Swung on and fouled. Back again. Count sits at 2-2. The Clams came into the inning ahead 7-2. 2 Redbirds runs across here in the 9th. The 2-2 again from Bates. Swung on and hit fouled on the third base line. Count will remain at 2-2. Nicky Wolking started this game, went 4 innings for the Steamers, allowed just 1. Cameron Lewis came in for a pair of relief innings, allowed 1, and Jack Van Doren and Chris Morris had back-to-back scoreless innings. Travis Hamrick came into the game, walked a few, including walking 1 home, and now Cole Bates into the game to try and wrap it all up. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss and a high fastball for out number 2 here in the 9th. A massive strikeout for Cole Bates. It's the 4th strikeout of the night for Lakos. And Wes Bonney, the final chance here for the Redbirds. Bonney's got a pair of hits tonight for Norfolk. But he's been retired by Steamers pitching his last 2 at-bats. Tying run over at first for the Redbirds. Pitch from Bates. Swing and a miss for strike 1. 0-1 the count. Bates has gotten the job done in each of his first 3 relief appearances. Trying to do the job again here at Lakewood Park. The 0-1 pitch. Taken a bit outside. 1-1 the count. Bates asking where it missed. The umpire signals a bit outside. It's Brown over at third, Gensler at second, and Hughes at first. With the Redbirds down 3. The pitch to Bonney. A bit low, 2-1 the count. Bates working all around the zone. Trying to bring it home. Bates from the stretch, 2-1 count. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. The Redbirds down to their final strike here in the 9th. Cole Bates trying to wrap things up in relief of Travis Hamrick. Claps coming from the Steamers dugout. Bates is set. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled off by Bonney. He stays alive. Bonney once again 2 for 4 tonight. He's already knocked in a pair of runs this season. Runners at first, second, and third, 2 outs in the 9th. A couple more opportunities to knock some more in. He's 2-2 with Cole Bates. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Cole Bates comes into the game, strikes out a pair to save the Steamers and clinch a 7-4 win here at Lakewood Park. A big finish for the Clams, who were out ahead 7-2, gave up a pair, but ultimately closed things down. The Steamers improved to 6-2, 3-1 on the road, and have earned their second 3-game winning streak of the year. Going into a pair of days off, the Steamers go into it on a high note. And that'll wrap things up here from Lakewood Park. A nervous but clutch victory for the Edenton Steamers. It's a 7-4 win over the Norfolk Redbirds. Thank you so much for watching on the Edenton Steamers YouTube channel.